and welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. Let me tell you something about me that I'm sure I never told you before. When I was younger, I absolutely loved Jeopardy, loved to watch it on TV, loved to try to come up with the answers, felt really proud when I did, because Jeopardy is not for the faint of intellect. So when I got an answer right, I absolutely loved it. And I did better on the college edition ones, be that as it may. And correct answer is a correct answer. I have not yet had the honor of being an answer to a question on Jeopardy. Or is that a question to an answer? If you know Jeopardy, you know why I said that. But Caitlin Clark tonight, Thursday night, was featured on a Jeopardy question, and the Indiana Fever, so proud of the franchise player that they wanted to make sure you got an opportunity to see it. So let's go over to the Fever X page.
Sports for 4.
The Indiana Fever's #1 draft pick in 2024. She's had a great effect on women's basketball. Roger.
Who's Clark?
Caitlin Clark effect, yes.
Now, if you noticed that category, she said sports, but the category was women in sports, and it was for $400. Yo, I just realized that man had $2,200 when he answered that question. 22. How interesting. So Jeopardy had the question, that gentleman had the answer, or Jeopardy had the answer and that man had the question, and SI.com had this to say about it. Caitlin Clark was an answer on Thursday's episode of Jeopardy. Who is Caitlin Clark? It says the game show Jeopardy features some of the best and brightest trivia brains in the country, but when a sports question pops up, it often spells trouble for contestants. Luckily, Caitlin Clark has more than enough star power to make her a household name. Clark popped up as an answer on Thursday's episode of the show in the very appropriate category of women in sports for $400. The Indiana Fever's #1 draft pick in 2024. She's had a great effect on women's basketball, the question read. Contestant Roger had no issue submitting the correct answer. Impressively, this wasn't the 23-year-old sharpshooter's Jeopardy debut as an answer. During last April's Jeopardy Invitational Tournament, she was the $400 answer in the sports category to the question. In 2024, this Iowa athlete sunk one of her trademark logo three-pointers and set the all-time NCAA women's scoring record. And of course, the answer was, who is Caitlin Clark? Amy Schneider. She was one of the all-time great Jeopardy champions, and she had the correct answer the same day that Clark would help lead the Hawkeyes past UConn in the Final Four, 71-69. And do I remember that game? So let's look back to this game, meaning Jeopardy, on April 5th of last year. This is in Jeopardy's archives. Show number 9075. April 5th, 2024. And let's look. The category sports and go to $400. In 2024, this Iowa athlete sunk one of her trademark logo three-pointers and set the all-time NCAA women's scoring record. And you can see it right here. When you go up to 400, here comes the answer. Amy gave the answer, and it is Caitlin Clark. Well, since there's so many questions being asked, I have one. When will Caitlin Clark be worth more than $400? She's $400 this year, $400 last year. She really should be on that old game show called what was it, $100,000 question or something like that? Because she's certainly worth more than $400 now. But seriously, really kind of cool. Women's sports on the map in the form of Caitlin Clark. And as the question this year said, or the answer, however you go. It was about the Caitlin Clark effect, and they put the effect in quotation marks. So not only do they know a Caitlin Clark in sports, they're very familiar with the term the Caitlin Clark effect, and it's manifesting right there on Jeopardy. The only wrong part of that is it's only $400. And of course, I'm kind of joking, but yeah, it's time to up Caitlin's worth to the 1 million. Is it the $1 million? I said $100,000 question, $1 million question. Those of you who know, get in the comments and tell me, what was that old, I think it was before my time, game show. I think the first time I ever heard of it was on that old show, The Honeymooners. Remember The Honeymooners? Ralph Cramden and Norm, right? Was it Norm? Ed Norton. What do I mean, Norm? I'm getting that mixed up with Cheers. See why it's hard to answer a question on Jeopardy and it's hard to get a place on there? They probably would have kicked me off in the trial. But anyway, I digress. Okay, I couldn't get away from it. I had to do some checking. I did, and I found it. It was called the $99,000 answer.
Jackie Gleason. The Honeymooners.
And now back to Herb Norris and the $99,000 answer, the show that gives away $99,000.
Rent a piano. I'm going to have Norton come down here and play the piano, every song he's ever heard, and I'm going to study them.
Ralph, that's going to cost us a fortune. It'll take every penny we have saved. We won't have 1 cent left in the bank.
When the smoke clears away, we'll have $99,000. Yes, sir. This is the time I'm going to get my pot of gold.
Just go for the gold. You've already got the pot.
Yes,
I feel much better now. We can carry on. It's pretty cool to see Caitlin Clark, who has put women's basketball on the map in a way that we have not seen. See the Caitlin Clark effect on Jeopardy. All right, Jeopardy. Time to up that 400 though. All right, guys, get in the comments. I think it's a lot of fun. I'll catch you next time, God willing. Hey, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. And I appreciate every single one of you, your support. And those who've already subscribed, hit the like button. God bless you abundantly.